Morning. Doing it. We're on the Olympic coast. It was a pretty soggy night last night, which is not what I was promised. I'll be writing a sternly worded letter to Google's weather algorithm. But the rain's let up, at least for now, and I'm gonna cook breakfast, which is another thing that I don't usually do. Fairly luxurious action for me out here. And we'll pack up. We'll get out of here. We'll head south down to Sandpoint. We'll round that, and then we'll head back into the woods to go back to our trailhead. It's a sweet rainbow right out on the horizon there. You can just see the edge of it. Like I said, I don't usually have breakfast. This isn't a problem I typically have to deal with, but if I want to have my oatmeal, I'd have to have it in the pot, which I hate doing because then I have to clean the pot. So I'm actually going to have spicy oatmeal in the Ziploc from last night's dinner. I found that this really doesn't impact the flavor too much. It's a great way to reuse the bag, and that way I still don't have to wash anything. I see the rainbow out there. It's just getting stronger. That's pretty incredible. Plain mixed with maple brown sugar. The superior flavor of oatmeal. Hard to beat oatmeal on a brisk morning. And there's a little bit of the spice from the corn chowder as well. Just to give it a little extra flair. I'll fold this guy the rest of the way when I get home and it can dry out. Until then, it's not particularly cold this morning. I mean, it's not warm, but it's not freezing. But just constantly having my hands on the moist tarps and all the moist equipment, oh my, they're taking the brunt of it. I tried to show this area off yesterday, but the battery died right while I was here. But we were about to see, aside from the gorgeous landscape, is one of the other main reasons people come out all this way. wedding rocks is home to a number of petroglyphs. These guys are just so pretty. I have two orchids here, a number of faces here. I don't know if there are more scattered throughout this area. I didn't do enough reading before I came here, apparently. But man, talk about just the legacy of artwork. It's absolutely incredible. You know, on the high tide, it'll come all the way up here. These will get getting splashed. And still they remain, and they'll be here for quite some time yet, before they eventually weather away. Check this out. I thought this was driftwood the whole night here. This is a rib. This is something rib. How big do you have to be? Tons of whale stuff out here, man. Just tons of it. It's nuts. All right, camp is all packed up. It doesn't seem to be getting any drier. So I'm gonna head out. I've got about 2 miles to go to Sand Point. Hopefully by that time, maybe a little bit of sun's peeking through. Maybe not, but maybe so. If it is, I'll take a little bit of time to explore there. But if it's still staying pretty soggy, I'll probably turn left pretty immediately and head back into the woods for a 3-mile walk back to the trailhead. Excited to see what we'll see today. This morning, the water was all the way up to here. It was, you see where the sand ends and the rocks start? That's how far up the tide came. And now look how far out it's gone. There are still 2.5 hours till low tide today. If the weather were nice, I could spend forever going out there and just exploring. Every couple of minutes, out of the corner of my eye, I see something and I say, is that another sea stack I didn't notice earlier? But no, it's just a monster wave that's cresting and crashing. And the wind picks up the spray and sends it high into the air to the point that it's large enough that from the corner of my eye, I think it's another one of these rocky protrusions. More deer up ahead. See if they spook. They are decidedly not spooked. This is an awesome shot. I'm sure you can't see it, but that pointy spire dead center, has a bald eagle perched on top. That's sweet. Potentially a better look at the bald eagle perching right on that spire. I'm marching out here, try to get the definitive shot of that bald eagle, just for you. There it is. That's better. Great blue heron there trying to fish. I don't think I'm helping him. It's very important to be mindful of the tide charts around here. This, for example, this rock, I'm not out here among the seaweed just to explore. I'm doing it because it's the only way around the rock. And the seaweed, as you can see, goes up almost the whole way. So at high tide, you actually couldn't get around the rock. You'd have to go through the ocean to do it. It is not high tide right now, so it's pretty easy for me to walk around like this, but you need to plan your trip, and the timings of your days are on the timing of the tides. Make sure you don't get stuck. I'm gonna follow the curve of the coast here all the way around until I get to that point with the big rock sticking out. That's Sand Point. I'll go a little bit past it and then turn in to the forest. I would say there have been more adolescent bald eagles than mature ones. By that I mean these guys don't have the white coloring on their head or tail. Time to say goodbye to the beach, to the Pacific Ocean, and hopefully to the freezing wind. Back inland we go What an incredible area. I will absolutely be back. But our filming isn't quite over because this is a loop trail, which means there's more to show that we haven't seen yet. And we instantly are gonna get soaked as I wade through this brush. Yes, this is the trail. Awesome. All right, stumbled onto the actual trail. That was more of a social campsite trail. So hopefully it should be a little more smooth sailing, a little less brushy from here on out. We've got a little bit over 3 miles to get back to the car and complete the triangle. You don't see this very often in Washington at all, but that's a blaze to mark the trail. Or at least you don't see these white painted ones very often in Washington. Finally got a break in the rain here. The trail that took me to the beach went down a sudden drop right at the end to get to the beach. It was mostly flat, otherwise there's a big cliff we had to get down. This one, there was no such cliff, so it's been a little bit more of a gradual uphill to try to make up that elevation. More trailblazers. You can see they did one on each side of the tree so that you can see it coming and going. See the light through the trees. I think that break is going to be Ozette Lake. I have made it back to the trail junction. Just a short walk now, back to the trailhead, but the triangle is complete. I'm done. Let's go. That was an absolute blast. A little soggier than I would like, but man, this place must be magical in the summer when it's warm and dry. A lot more crowded though. What an awesome little weekend trip. That will be the end of this particular adventure. See you later.